How are your headphones now?
I can hear you.
Can you hear yourself?
I can't. I'm just starting to hear myself. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I hate the sound of my voice anyways. It's all right.
Good thing we decided to start a podcast with you.
Yes, absolutely.
We get a lot of shots. Everybody come to their net. We just have to get more and more pucks to the net.
We used to talk about in Vancouver getting pucks on net and
pucks on net.
Well, that's the key. We got to get the puck on net.
What were you saying about putting pucks on net?
Continue to put pucks on net and
it's just getting pucks on net.
Pucks on net and driving and making it a hard night on them.
Live on tape from Geeta's apartment, her palatial estate on the 23rd floor. This is Pucks on Net, a Vancouver hockey podcast that doesn't talk about fantasy or fancy stats. Dave has returned from Burma, or as it's now...
Is it going as Myanmar?
It's Myanmar,
okay.
But it will always be Burma to me.
My name, I'm dropping some nicknames, some accurate nicknames today. So I am Ryan the Glue Shap. Hold it all together.
Yeah.
Dave the Podcast Heel McPhail.
I don't like you, you don't like me. Let's talk about it on the internet.
And and everybody's favorite Geeta, Reddy. We've learned this from...
everybody.
I call her Amex because she's accepted everywhere.
Hopefully the U.S. border, too.
I really like that one review we got.
Oh, yeah. We could read that right off the bat.
You should. Said I was fun.
Thanks for joining us wherever you got us from. Make ssure you follow us on Twitter at PucksOnNetCA or PucksOnNetCa. And if you want to support the show, head on over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/PucksOnNet. And... we'll have some we have bonus content there, like 5 minutes we're paying. And we're recording a bonus Patreon episode this week. It'll be a Q&A. So if you got anything you want to ask us, send it in. If you want to know Dave's dress shirt size, just he'll his dimensions.
Boys Gap small.
Yeah.
It's like wearing tailored shirts. It's the same as the mannequin. Like dead
Very
on.
smart.
Bang on.
It's a European fit.
Yes, it's European. It just looks bad.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't matter what it costs. It's all about the fit.
It's true.
This is the review from Chris Thorne. He's a local guy here in Vancouver. This group is a lot of fun to listen to. Dave is a jerk. Paul doesn't want to be there. Geeta is fun. And Ryan just tries to hold it all together. They will sometimes start yelling at each other, but I think they still like each other. Don't bother asking a question. They'll make you pay to listen to the answer. Man, maybe I don't like this podcast.
I really liked that review because it was so accurate.
It's very accurate. I am a jerk.
You're a love.
Paul doesn't want to be here.
He's not here this week.
He said, "Screw those bastards and screw you too." I sent him. Sent him a counterfeit Alex Burrows Ottawa Senators throwback jersey
as a peace offering.
It just says Burrows with like extra W's.
Did you read Alex Burrows?
Z.
Yeah, I read his Players Tribune thing.
Okay, now
we were talking about it right before you got here. Neither of us were that impressed or heartbroken or teary-eyed.
Yeah, no, like a lot of people I know read it, and I expected to go into it going, "Oh, this is going to be wonderful," and I was like, "Eh."
It was overhyped.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Or oversold, I guess.
Yeah, people sold it to me big. Oh, Dave, you got to read it. You got to read it. You got to read it.
I thought, it's like, oh, here we go. This is Derek Jeter's final goodbye. Come on, I mean, that's his blog. But yeah, it was the hype was you're gonna, get the tissues beside you because Alex Burrows is gonna make you remember why you love the Canucks. And it was just like a bunch of thoughts about, well, I like playing here. I mean, there were some nice things about it, but I'm like, I was expecting some tearful soliloquy about why he loved playing hockey and being a Canuck, and it wasn't there.
It was like what you write in the office birthday card that's being passed around.
I really liked having Pizza at Fat. I like Ryan Kessler.
Happy birthday.
My friend Patrick from Fat Deli, who's the owner/manager of the bar, was very, very excited to get a shout out, though, in the article. He was pretty pumped, actually.
But it just says Fat. It doesn't say Fat Deli.
But we all call it Fat. Yeah. Everybody in this neighborhood, you mention Fat, everybody knows what you're talking about.
Well, with the PH, I thought it was like a hip hop club or something.
Oh, it's a sports bar / Jewish delicatessen. Hey, don't laugh.
It's a cafeteria.
The dynamic in there is fantastic. You've been in there with me a couple of times.
I've been in there with Dave and his crew.
I poked my head in. I mean, I liked what I saw.
I'm usually the one girl in there.
Oh.
Yeah, like total. Yeah. It's a man's world.
Yeah.
So it's a kosher sausage fest is what you're saying.
Totally. Yeah, but it's the only $5 pint in all of Yaletown, and the food is excellent. And the service is fantastic.
Your glowing review of Rodney's Oyster House as a male or a female Hooters a lot of people took that seriously, and
Oh.
you had an impression on our Hawaiian listener Chelsea about. And
Did she manage to go there?
When she was here, she went to Rodney's, and I don't know if she brought singles or what, but it was your glowing review of the place.
The food is excellent and the drinks are good, but yeah, the women like to go for the man candy, if you will.
They're not that good looking. It's just a fun place to go, and we shouldn't be eating oysters right now.
Well-
No, red tide.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we're not sponsored by them, but we do have another sponsor, Rita. And
We could go there after.
And try and get them to give us some money to talk about how good Rodney's Oyster House is? When it comes to oysters, think Rodney's. Tell them Pucks on Net sent you. But into more serious details, Dave, do you want to talk about eyeglasses?
Yeah, with all the options out there, why is it that so many people, including local sports pros, trust their eyes to image optometry?
Did Burr talk about
Maybe
image
it's their
optometry?
two
Well, yeah, he said no.
locations.
Well, it could be the online prices and the bricks and mortar service.
What about that direct billing?
Yeah, okay, two things about this. B-Rad.
Yeah.
I don't know what bricks and mortar service is, and direct billing is very strange.
He emailed us. Direct billing is where you don't have to buy them on your credit or debit and then reimburse.
Yeah.
You just the Sun Life financial
They'll do
people
that.
or whomever.
I think bricks and mortar means it's like hands-on service.
Yeah, it's not like those clearly contacts jerks who are clearly bullshit.
Well, it also could be because they're the only ones to offer a doctor's eye exam and a complete select pair of glasses for just Alexander McGillney, Sergei Morozov, $89.95.
That's an unbeatable deal that'll ensure you catch your next match in
I always-
glorious HD.
Every time we see this, I'm like, oh, so glasses cost between $89 and $95.
Well, if you don't wear contact lenses or wear glasses, you have this horrible disease where you see things in 4x3. But then when you put the glasses on from image optometry, it goes 16:9.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
it's a very rare condition where the resolution
letterbox
and the framing changes. It's interesting.
But I mean, what else would you expect from the most affordable eye care chain in BC? That means British Columbia! !
Image optometry, the official eye doctor of the Canucks, now month free.
Allegedly, and Pucks on Net.
Yes.
And that's online at image.ca or image.com.
Imagine more for less.
All right, now that business is out of the way.
Paying some bills. Thanks, Dr. B-Rad.
Get out to North Delta or Abbotsford, Dave and my stomping ground.
Yeah, our respective hometowns. If I had a nickel for every shopping cart I pushed China Dave down in North Delta, all those hills.
You'd have 40
I think
cents.
I'm the one person who goes there more often now.
I haven't been to North Delta in 6 years.
I drive down
Really? Oh, yeah, 'cause-
Nordell every single day.
No, there's really no reason for why would I? My parents don't live there anymore. Why?
Go to the Delta Lion?
Nope.
Go to the Sundowner?
That was our scene. Yeah, in high school because our fake IDs worked there.
Yeah, everybody. Did you have a place you used a fake ID or got in not carded?
No, I play by the rules.
We went to we used to go to the Sundowner for the Canucks pay-per-views.
I didn't grow up in a small town.
We used to go watch Scotty Walker and a young Matt Cook play the Columbus Blue Jackets on a Tuesday where it was half-price Long Island iced teas.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, homeroom on Wednesday.
Oh, man.
Pretty sparsely attended.
But it was a good Canucks game.
There was this greasy owner of that place who just he knew we had fake IDs, but we could have shown him anything. He didn't give a shit. That guy.
I'm looking at something, yes, and nodding in case the.
He's like, no one else is coming in here for these pay-per-view games but the high school kids. So
I love those. Those pay-per-view games are a forgotten entity.
when Kirk McLean was on TV and he didn't know what to do with his hands.
We still had pay-per-view games during 2010.
No, I think the last. Yeah, really?
Yeah, we did.
You know who they couldn't pay to watch hockey games? Fans in Los Angeles. The LA Kings are circling the drain. This seems to happen every other year now in that city.
Well, what we do is this,
Why do they have these year-long hangovers? So they'll win the cup next
because
year.
they live in LA and they party really hard. So the Stanley Cup hangover is a literal hangover, and they also have a first-round quick exit hangover. And a Daryl Sutter hangover and a Jerome. They're just
they
always.
sure drown their sorrows.
They're drinking every night in LA.
Yeah.
What the hell am I doing drinking in LA at 26? With my mind on my money and my money on mine.
we've done this every year. We go, God damn those Los Angeles Kings! They're going to miss the playoffs. What a laughing stock! And then they sneak in. They've won one Stanley Cup within this podcast being recorded.
Mm-hmm.
They've also been eliminated.
That's more than a lot of other teams.
More than like 90% of the teams.
Is this going to be the year though that like they're going to clean house? They're going to get rid of some guys. And I'm not just talking about the coach and the GM. We've already addressed that, but like
You mean like everybody but Drew Doughty?
like Dustin Brown, Gaborik, like those kind of guys.
If I'm Dean Lombardi and if they miss the playoffs, I'm looking at how many players can we expose to Las Vegas to just clean our hands of this.
Hey.
We'll
It's just
give you
Vegas.
we'll give you a Stanley Cup winning roster.
There's no Las Vegas. It's just Vegas.
Vegas, VGK or whatever.
Vegas Golden
The
Knights.
Golden Knights. I feel like that's being demoted. You go from being king to
Yeah, it sounds like you're playing in an IHL.
Well, I started doing some research.
The old International League. The Detroit Vipers.
Boardwalk Bullies, I think they're called.
No, that was the EC. That team was the ECHL. No, they had the IHL had teams like they had the Las Vegas Thunder.
Yeah. Who moved to Oklahoma and then
did-
started playing basketball.
Yeah, that's right. The Detroit Vipers, the Orlando Solar Bears,
I remember
which are back
them.
now in the ECHL.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
Leafs. That's a Garrett Sparks team.
Yeah.
He came from them.
Yeah, the Orlando Solar Bears, and they had the Houston Arrows. The Chicago Wolves started there.
Yeah.
It was a goofy league, but it was kind of like a hybrid league. It was just a little bit better than the AHL, and you could take 17-year-olds. So Sergei Samsonov played in that league before he got drafted.
Oh yeah.
So did Radek Bonk. So did Patrick Steffen.
Hmm.
I think all three of those
Well,
guys.
he played in Long Island.
All three of those guys were drafted directly from the IHL.
That's pretty impressive.
They were trying to build it up into something, but
And then what happened? Did they just merge because it was easier?
I got a theory that a lot of it was cable TV. See, these minor league teams used to be more successful at the gate, but now every NHL game ever
Yeah.
is on television.
And with Geeta's Game Center, you could watch every game ever.
Yeah, so why would I want to watch the Kentucky Gamblers when I can just watch the Penguins play the Blackhawks?
For
on the
entertainment.
Yeah, but Geeta, those gamblers, they got a good offense.
They
Well,
don't know
that's
what
what I mean, for entertainment.
they don't know when
Why
to
would-
fold them, and they don't know when to hold them.
But I was doing some research, and I was looking into the Kings.
Sorry.
What is that?
It's the show.
It's the show. It's playing off the phone all of a sudden.
What's the show? Letterkenny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're
I heard-
binge watching Letterkenny.
I could hear Squirrely Dan, and I was like, oh.
I
But
was-
yeah, the Kings, I don't understand what's going on.
But this is not new territory. They can't score goals. They never score goals. They limp into they sneak into the playoffs.
Right.
And I don't know if it's just them, like if they're preserving as much energy as they can because they've been there twice. They were almost there 3 times in a row, but I mean, this is a little more of a problem, like what we're seeing.
And they have it's going to be systemic. Like there's not much they can do about it. So much money on this team is tied up for so long.
And two guys, and that's the thing. Like I was doing my cap search this late last night,
Right.
and like Jeff Carter was signed in Philly for an 11-year deal at $58 million. Like
That's absurd.
Like a cap hit of over 5. And then you have Marian Gaborik, who was re-signed like a couple of years ago, and he's got a 4.8 million, 4.87 cap hit. Like there's a lot of money tied up in 2 jabronis. Well, I don't want to say jabronis. Like Jeff Carter is earning his money.
Yeah, but Dustin Brown and Gaborik are shells of who they used
What
to
do
be.
you do? Dispatch them while Mike Richards?
Oh, they already did that to Mike Richards.
That's what I mean. Can you
Dean
do that
Lombardi's
again?
going to have a hell of a time getting oxycontin into the glove boxes of 2 players, let alone 1. That's my conspiracy theory on Mike Richards is that he was set up by Dean Lombardi. How did that get there? That's not mine.
I don't know.
Jared Stoll put it there.
I thought
Allegedly.
I thought it was weird that after practice the GM asked for the license plates and makes of all of our cars downstairs.
I've just got to go put some. There's a surprise birthday present. I've got to put some in there.
It's in your glove box. Enjoy your trip across the border.
Like these guys are signed like with these big deals. Like that's like $16 million through the next,
Yeah.
or 14 to the next like
Sure.
4 years.
Yeah.
And it's like how many? And if I'm Dean Lombardi and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this team is not going to do it anymore.
Nope.
They're
Yeah.
too banged up. They're not as skilled as we think they are.
Right.
Time to rip it down.
How many guys can Vegas?
Uh-huh.
Getting a stink eye over there. You got money in that team?
I don't know.
It's in your portfolio.
It's in my. I don't know. People move stuff around all the time. I got a money manager. He's moving shit around. I told him to get me out of that Orlando Solar Bears deal.
But like I'm hoping that whoever's running, is that George McVie or
Yeah, it's McPhee.
McPhee? Like I'm like, how many Kings can he pick up just to get these off the books?
Dustin Brown, a nice American boy, might be a nice fit for them.
Marian Gaborik, he could be an American boy.
He likes to party.
Does he really?
Gabby likes to go out and have a good time.
Yeah.
That probably wouldn't be a good idea.
Wait, but as we've learned over the years, a lot of the Kings like to party.
They do. Yeah, that Vegas team's going to be weird. That's going to be weird. But I'm really excited to go to Las Vegas with you guys next year.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, that'll be a fun road
Oh, there's
trip.
going to be a Vegas podcast.
I think we should. Well,
Yeah.
we'll do it before we go out.
Well,
yes.
Yeah.
If we lose our shirts at the casino and
No one's losing their shirts.
Yeah, I'm not gambling. I'm not a gambler.
Hey, listen.
I work really hard for my money. I don't just give it away.
Hey, I'm not gambling anymore. I'm off that gambling. I swear.
That was a scary couple weeks. I was worried.
Well, I put some money on the Canucks game.
Also, you talking about it was like watching paint dry. There's nothing more boring than someone else's sports bets.
No, the most annoying thing is somebody talking about their own fantasy team when you're not involved.
That's true. Jim Rome did a great bit on that, actually. It was like there was like him and his friends had a safe word for like if somebody starts talking about their fantasy team, you just say the safe word and they have to stop. It's like lemon square and they just stop.
Well, it's like they
I
talk.
don't know which quarterback to start this week.
Bertuzzi.
Yeah. See? It's nice, right? It's a good system.
It's a good word that it just puts it to all. But when people talk about fantasy, like their fantasy teams, they're talking like they are the GMs. Like,
Well,
oh man,
yeah.
I was doing some scouting and I did some wheeling and dealing, and I got Max Pacioretty for a song.
He's like the worst captain ever.
But he's got like 30-something goals.
I was busy living my life, so I finished 5th in the pool this year.
Yeah, I just stopped playing those things and like it's not worth it.
So did the Canucks. They stopped playing fantasy hockey and real hockey this year.
Did you watch that game? Oh, you were playing hockey.
But my game finished just as the second period was starting, so we caught the second and third.
Is this the apparent game against Edmonton last night?
The alleged hockey game?
They're not good at hockey.
Yeah.
No.
And if you watch the Oilers, they're a bit of a mess on their own.
Do you want to know how apparent or alleged it was? I still to right now I haven't been able to find the score anywhere.
I think it was a 2-0
It was a
final.
2-0.
I came home, I looked on Twitter, no one was talking about it.
I had some chicken wings. It was good. I had a nice Rickards White.
Mm.
I had a nice little dinner with my teammates, and the Ottawa Montreal game was on, so we watched most of that, and then we had to turn our attention to the Canuck game when that ended.
But how interesting that you bring that up. I mean, Geeta, I've looked at your who you follow on Twitter.
Why are you creeping that closely?
Well, it's like you follow
Deep lurking. Ryan's a notable. He'll like your photo from 84 weeks ago.
I don't know. I must have been in my pocket.
That 2012 trip to the Poconos looked the bomb.
No.
Anyways.
But like the fact that you made a conscious effort to try and find the score without actually looking for it, and you couldn't
I'm
find it.
scrolling and it didn't show up anywhere. No one on my feed was talking about it, and I came home about 11 o'clock last night.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think people would be talking about it at that time.
People don't care.
No.
They play all the way out in Utica. It's really far. I don't know. I'm prepping for the World Hockey Championships in Paris.
I kind of want to go.
I really want to go, but I have to go to Paris next year anyway, though.
Yeah, we'll all go next year. We said 2 years ago.
Yeah. No, I think I might. I found a wad of euros yesterday.
I got a lot of points. I could probably get my flight out there would probably not cost me a dime.
Moneybags Geeta over here is just going through old bags and finding
old bags
foreign
of garbage.
currency.
I did that recently. Actually, I found a bunch of Thai baht.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's not worth as much as the euro.
No, I was like, it was a significant wad of cash.
Here's the thing.
That's nice.
Here's the
In
thing
fact,
about
is it still sitting there?
there's just money. Like if I could describe the scene, we're at Geeta's palatial estate. There's Letterkenny on the TV. Geeta has a glass of wine the size of her head. She's a very small hat size, and there's just pucks and European currencies all over the place.
It's like Marian Gaborik's house.
But on this, back to the Canucks for a split second. Like, in September, I think it was USA Today and then EA Sports were like, we predict the Canucks to get 65 points this year. And we're like, ha, you think they're going to be that bad? What a bunch of assholes. Ha.
Hey, I think they got 66 right now.
They have 65.
Ooh.
They have 65 points.
I'm working the last 2 home games of the year.
Yeah.
I hope it comes down to those
Are you
last 2 games.
Are you going to throw a jersey on the ice? Now, wait, do you want them to go past 65?
I'd like them to go 2 points past 65 or 1 point. Yeah, I would like them to.
No, we want them to finish at 69.
Well, yeah.
69.
Nice.
If they get a game winner in overtime, I will get whatever player scores the game-winning goal as the name bar.
For their 69th point of the year.
I'll get 69 in the back in the year 2017.
Shampoo 69.
Michael Shaput.
We'll
There's
just
a
get
guy.
matching tattoos.
There's a guy.
They have 11 games left in the regular season, and they're playing some. They're like, it is.
They could lose every single one.
Could?
They might.
Like, I mean,
if they put their minds
They
to
got a
it.
pretty tough road trip coming up next week. They're on the road for a couple of games.
they're playing the Shy. They're playing St. Louis. Oh man, I gotta tell you
And
this.
they got the Minnesota Wild
What's
too.
that?
This isn't on the rundown even, but
Okay.
I was sitting in bed this morning drinking my coffee, listening to my Bob McKenzie, like the old man that I am, and I start thinking about the St. Louis Blues. I start thinking like, yeah, Nail Yakupov is a St. Louis Blue.
Yep.
I start doing some research. He's a healthy scratch almost every night.
Yeah.
He's played 35 games this year.
He's going to the Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh, you'd hope.
It's his last chance. Vegas is his last chance.
And then he'll go to the KHL and turn things around.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah.
But I was amazed, like if Canuck fans are feeling bad about Jake Virtanen, who's finding himself in Utica, and he had a goal today, but to be an Oilers fan and having to draw, well, who cares? They're doing fine. I think that they're just numb to any bad draft pick.
I think they're doing just fine. I think it's one of those situations where the kid never learns to walk, but then they run across the room.
Yeah.
Because they look pretty damn good right now.
We're gearing up for the potential of a Battle of Alberta.
Yes, we are.
And
we're all very excited.
That's kind of exciting.
I've heard some rumors of a potential Battle of Alberta themed party at the McPhail residence.
Yes, there will be a Alberta-themed party. There'll be steaks on the grill. Pilsner being served.
Green Flames hard hats or white Oiler hard
hats everywhere.
I don't know. I'm going to cheer for Edmonton, probably. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm cheering for Edmonton.
And we're going to have signs that say "Show your cans for Monahans," but then we're going to discourage it because it's 2017, and that is not acceptable behavior.
And in the tradition of Edmonton, I'm just going to open up 7 Aldos in one mall.
Well, you'll be too busy out back just grilling steaks. Just a pile
of Alberta beef. Covered in oil.
It was cheap. Both these were real cheap. They're just letting them go.
Errol's going to do some fracking out back. It's going to be a real scene.
But that's probably the if that happens, the stars have to align. But I would absolutely fucking love a Battle of Alberta this year.
There's some potential series out there in the playoffs that look very attractive. That's one.
Toronto, Ottawa.
Toronto, Ottawa would be fun. Boston, Montreal would be really a lot of fun.
And I'm gearing up because I want to see Columbus play Pittsburgh again, which is what it should be.
The only way that Columbus would be interesting in the playoffs is if they played the Penguins again.
Yeah, because they hate the Penguins.
And they gave them all they could handle.
In one of the better series of the last few years.
It's a very Minnesota Canucks early 2000s type of rivalry, though.
Columbus
fans hate Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh fans don't even know where Columbus is.
Is that Tennessee? All right, we'll just go.
You guys, we couldn't find Columbus on a map either.
This isn't on the rundown, and it's not hockey, but it's sports related.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to point out every time we get mad at hockey players for doing stupid things and we call hockey players dumb.
Who did something stupid?
There is a movement afoot in the NBA.
Oh.
And it's multiple players and multiple analysts, even some coaches.
Is this the world is flat?
Yes.
Oh, what the is that?
What is happening right now?
I don't know.
America and our American listeners, you guys really need to give us some feedback and really give us a sense of how f***ed up your country is right now.
What's
what
going
is
on?
that? Is it a conspiracy theory?
Kind
Okay.
of. But there's a conspiracy theory being put out there by players like Kyrie Irving, Shaquille O'Neal, Draymond Green, multiple players. It got to the point where the commissioner of the NBA had to address this.
What's it?
There's people who play in the NBA and commentate for the NBA that think the world is flat.
Well, this is an education
I'm not making
system
this
run
up.
by Betsy DeVos.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, but these are guys who went to college during the
Oh,
Obama
yeah,
administration.
Well, went to college.
But like Kyrie Irving, if you're out there listening, Draymond Green, if you're out there listening, I know you're not because you probably don't know how to work a phone.
Go buy a globe.
The world is round. Just because you can drive from California to Florida, Shaq, that was his argument. We don't go on any kind of curve, it's straight. Like, seriously, dude? Seriously.
Wow.
So the next time you bash a hockey player for being a bit of a cement head, just remember the dumbest hockey player in the NHL is probably smarter than the smartest player in the NBA.
Who's the dumbest hockey player in the NHL?
Patrick Maroon.
I was just going to say
But Steph Curry
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
comment on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Like,
That is
this
not.
is not a controversial issue like abortion.
No.
You know, you can have an opinion on whether the world is round or flat, and it better be round because if you say it's flat, you need some serious fucking help. I'm really upset about. I'm really upset about.
Well, Steph
this.
Curry's like, wow, I don't. It could. Who knows? He just doesn't want his Under Armour endorsement to get.
I like Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq, what the fuck, buddy?
It's a big cactus. Big cactus doesn't know what's going on.
I thought it was a joke.
No, it's not.
I chose not to engage in this. It's not worth speaking about
That's bad.
because that's how dumb it is.
Like, what year is this? When did
1640.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like America has lost its mind.
It's like
Like-
America hasn't been discovered.
All right, so let's
We fly into space every day, every single day. Why would they lie about that? What does it look like from space? Is it a disc like a frisbee that's stuck in a tree?
Well, the sun revolves around the earth.
Anyway,
it just goes over it.
I just wanted to put that out there. In the defense of all hockey players, a no Earth is flat guy has come out and come forward yet. Now, maybe tomorrow when Sidney Crosby announces that he's getting on this movement.
Well,
you
that's the
know,
thing. I drove a car from
Yeah, but then
Cole
we'd
Harbor.
be like, well,
Pearl Harbor to Victoria.
Is that the concussion speaking?
On back to some hockey notes.
Sure. Let's talk about Manny Malhotra.
He got hired by the Canucks full time.
I have a question. Didn't he already get hired by the Canucks?
I don't know.
He was an independent contractor. He had to keep his receipts and his image optometry business.
Oh, yeah. And to like make his own claims on his income tax.
He doesn't work here.
He worked for Canucks Production Services.
But he's had a very positive impact, and as we all remember, he was here for a year and a half full time, and it seemed like he was here longer than Trevor Linden. Everybody loved him. Good guy in the room.
Is he the next president of the Vancouver Canucks?
Oh my goodness, he might be.
Manny.
I don't know. No, one of the prerequisites is peripheral vision. So hey,
Linden-
maybe
it's not like
image
Linden had
optometry can
that.
sort Manny out.
Who would? All right, I'm stepping down. Here's President Manny.
Yeah, because you clearly don't need foresight to run the Canucks.
No, just hindsight. Maybe we should have just played the kids. I don't know. So the Toronto Maple Leafs are sweating it out right now, trying to make the playoffs. And like, it's kind of one of those things where at the beginning of the year, we'd have been like, yeah, if we had told them they'd be a point in and a point out depending on the night in late March, they would have taken that to the bank.
Yeah.
Right.
Now it feels like there's real pressure for them they must make the playoffs this year. And the ghost of the one-legged man, blood clotty and all, Steven Stamkos, is making a little bit of noise about possibly playing this season.
Blood cut himself. Yeah, he's what are they? A point? I think they're a point separating one another.
But wouldn't that be a twist of fate that the guy that they didn't sign
Comes back
from the dead and scores a few goals the last week of the season and derails
Well, they just played each other, and Toronto beat the shit out of the Stamkos Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa caught Toronto in the back half of getting some tough love from Coach Babcock.
Really?
Because they played Florida the night before and lost 7-2.
Right, yeah.
So then came out like gangbusters against the Ning.
Sure.
Well, they were too busy fishing and having fun and being with the Giants down on a boat somewhere.
Yeah, fighting gators.
All right, Matt and Martin, you get that gator.
Matt Martin would be the guy on the team to fight an alligator, wouldn't he?
Oh, hell yeah, Austin, I'll fight that thing.
But like our adorable, lovable Leafs, the worst thing that they could do is put any kind of pressure on them. They got to keep hey, if you make it this year, great, but we know there's better things on the horizon.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like these kids now are going to get put under the microscope these last few weeks.
Well,
I feel like they've got to make it. If Edmonton makes it, Toronto's got to keep pace.
It's a valid point.
Is that the unlikely Stanley Cup final that we all want?
Yeah.
No, we want Pittsburgh, Chicago.
No, we don't.
We
see that all the time.
No, but we've never had it. We've only the last time the Chicago Blackhawks played the Pittsburgh Penguins was 1992.
JR was there.
Yeah.
But is that what we
So is
want?
Dominic
Because it's the
Hasek.
last time we might see something like that?
No, their players are too good to just fall off the map like that.
Is Patrick Kane even 30 yet?
He's not. He
Yeah.
was born in 88, so he's a year younger than me.
Oh, so he's 29-ish.
Yeah, he's gotten all his Hart trophies and all his legal problems out of the way in his 20s, and for his 30s, it's just dominance.
He could retire today and make the Hall of Fame.
Oh, absolutely. But no, that's what I want to see in the Stanley Cup Finals. And the problem with the Leafs is
Right.
the media movement in Toronto is basically this team is going to have so many contract problems in 2 years from now because there's so many kids that got to resign.
Right.
It's like
Chicago did it.
exactly Chicago.
I wouldn't worry too much about that. I think that's a.
But that is
I feel like they've got a decent management that can figure it out.
You let guys like Van Riemsdyk and Kadri go, and then
Yeah.
you keep Marner and
Yeah.
Connor Brown and that Austin Matthews kid.
Who's
Pretty
that?
Good.
Austin.
Austin.
I've never heard of that.
William Nylander and
It's cool. He's going to be real
Kasperi
good one day. Real
Kapanen.
good.
But-
Sloshnikov.
Sloshnikov Leipzig, whose mom was the mom from Home Alone. It's true.
Wait, no way. Catherine
Really?
O'Hara?
Catherine O'Hara is Brendan Leipzig's mother.
No way.
I don't believe that.
That's absolutely 100%
I'm
true.
Googling this right now.
Do it.
Because when the Canucks played the Leafs on Retro Night
Yeah.
last year, and he scored his first NHL goal, we all got to meet her because they brought her into the box.
Oh.
And she said to me, Brendan Leipzig is my son. So I'm going to trust the source on that.
Dave's got something. It's like we're fishing right now. If we
Yeah.
shut up, they're out.
What are we fishing? Cat fishing?
No. Maybe. Depends on who you ask. Well, as Dave brings this up, okay, he's got a photo. That's not Catherine O'Hara.
Okay, we got to edit this out.
We totally do.
Way to go, guys.
I think when they said Catherine and Kathleen and she kind of looked like her, I just made the jump
You
to
just
myself.
well, why didn't you ask her or say, I love you
Home
in
Alone,
Home Alone?
No, I was just like, oh, cool, that's your kid. And then I put up the overweighty graphic.
No, she'd been like, oh, you're his mom?
I'm surprised he made it to the game tonight based on your track record.
Okay, anyway, back
And that's
to
why
the-
we got to keep that in.
No, please edit that out.
All
Well,
right.
edit it in a way that it's funny.
Well, yeah, I'll see what I can find.
Alternate ending.
Oh, yeah, we have to record an alternate ending tonight.
So they had Gary Bettman on
Yes.
the broadcast.
He was in.
Saw him.
He was in town. I don't know what
Was
he
it Thursday or Tuesday or something like that?
It was a game they played against the Stars.
So Thursday.
It was a weird game because it's two teams that are going to miss the playoffs by a boatload.
Yeah, I wasn't even interested in being there.
I know, and it's like you
got-
are required to be there,
He tries to visit every rink.
which is a good. Is it a good?
So I guess maybe that was the night in the rotation or so. But yeah, why weren't you at the game?
No one called. Plus, I was in Chilliwack.
I was toying with the idea, but I assumed the two of you. I just assumed you were there.
I was in Kamloops.
Yeah, that's right.
I was on my Ken Hitchcock reality tour.
Oh yeah. So
Walmart, pet store.
Bob's Burgers and Brew.
Yeah, I don't think I got home till like 8:00.
Yeah.
Every Hortons between there and the rink, between the hotel and the arena.
I in Chilliwack, I knew that Kamloops was playing Prince George on Thursday night
Yeah.
or Friday night.
You
'cause
knew
that's what I was seeing commercials for.
That's what she knew. She knew it. She knew who was playing on the WHL on Shaw we were doing, but she didn't know who won the Canucks game against the Oilers on Saturday.
But yeah, they had Gary on, and he was very evasive about the Olympic thing, about whether it sounds like it's a hard no.
Putin will probably fix it, and then they'll all be there.
It just seems crazy to me that they wouldn't go. That they're going to play games in China next year, but not go to South Korea for the Olympics.
Well, that's the thing. Is like
you're going there anyway.
Only one trip to Asia per year.
Oh, per what decade? Because it would be 8 years or 4 years later they'd be in China. But I don't like the fact that all the reasons that they're saying, oh, because of travel and risk of injury and all of this, and that it's in South Korea. But in 4 years from there, we're definitely going to China because there's a big bag of money waiting for him.
Here's the thing: it's easy to get to Seoul. It's a 9-hour flight. That's nothing. It takes longer to get to like Florida from Vancouver.
For the West Coast teams, it's so not a big deal. Like for the LAs and the Anaheim, San Jose, Vancouver, it's really not that bad. Like I've never been to Korea, but I've been to Japan.
Yeah.
And it was an 8-hour flight.
Yeah.
It's like 2 more hours than going to frickin' Montreal.
And then is it yesterday? It's tomorrow?
It's
no. Yeah, you crossed the international date line.
Yeah, last week I had 2 Mondays.
Oh, okay, that's kind of.
This was 15 hours. So I literally I got back to Vancouver at almost the exact same time that I left.
You think that's bad? You had 2 Mondays? I was 2 hours behind in Hawaii. When I came back, I thought it was 9 o'clock. It was 11 o'clock.
Oh, no.
My whole night was thrown off.
Yeah. No, I literally Groundhog Day. I did Monday twice.
Oh, man.
Monday, March 13th, I had it twice.
But I
was sick for both of them.
With your bad flu. I felt so bad for you coming back.
I lost 10 pounds.
He looks great, though, Geeta. Can we just say that?
Hey, Dave, you look stunning.
It's so thin. I'm slipping between the cracks in the sofa here, in between the cushions.
That's why we had to close the door.
Yeah, man. Good crack in the floor.
But with I don't know. I as a fan myself, when it is an international, like a very foreign Olympics, like when it's in Italy or in Russia, like and the games are on at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
I don't really care that much.
It doesn't have as much. Yeah, Salt Lake City and Vancouver definitely had more buzz than like Turin and Sochi.
And so if Gary...
Turin was the worst Olympics ever.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, Jarkko Ruutu, gold medal.
Turin is actually the worst city ever.
Oh, come on.
No, that wasn't... The Swedes won 2006. That was
sure?
the Sedin's gold medal.
They won the gold in 06? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they did. They beat the Finns. It was a good game. I remember it.
Well, then they'll be right in the IIHF Hall of Fame.
Oh, definitely.
But I hate that, all the reasons they're saying about... Yeah, they're saying... I forget what I was going to say. Edit that point out.
No, you're talking about local Olympics versus international.
I think you can't take 4 years off and then go to China. If you're going to China, you got to go to this one too.
But you can't not go to South Korea and then go up the road a couple minutes to Beijing. I know it's a little farther, but it's the same.
Same
it's
deal.
harder to get to. There is direct flight. You can fly direct from Vancouver to Beijing. It's 11 hours. I just did it.
Yeah.
But it's a long flight. And for guys coming from Montreal and whatnot.
But the Sens owner, Eugene Melnick, kind of put his foot in his mouth when he was interviewed during the Sens game. And he goes, so I'm going to give Sweden my best player at the risk of him being injured or beating our Canadian team.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. Maybe if it was a Canadian going to play for Canada, maybe. But for now, I have no... And then you could tell, this is transcribed. Yeah. And I think at this point, he starts to realize how dumb he just sounded.
He's talking himself into a corner.
And so he's like, for now, it doesn't make sense for any franchise, and it's not fair for our fans if we lose them. God forbid, in a year like this, to an injury at the Olympics. So
Ted Leonsis said that he's going to let anybody who wants to go to the Olympics from his team go.
Who's that?
He owns the Capitals.
Well, there's a couple of very vocal players on that team that
there are people that are going to go.
Yeah,
Well, and it's not going to matter anyway. They're going to finish in the second round no matter what happens.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's their Stanley Cup.
Yeah. The second round of the playoffs is the dance. They got to win the dance. They're going to have rings that just say Final Four, baby. Mission accomplished banner in Washington, D.C.
What if they go to the East Final?
Yeah. We're going to make the East Final great again.
Well, they got Justin Williams. He's supposed to do that.
They ain't making it. They had him last year. They didn't get there, didn't they? Was he there last year?
I think that's a guy that the Kings really wish they didn't let go.
Yeah, that guy they should have kept. Marion 5-Beer Gabrick probably should have gone off the team.
We haven't talked about this, but I'm all for I'm all for overpaying for guys that get it done when it matters. Like Kane and Taves and Seabrook and all those guys have 3 Stanley Cups.
Can you ever overpay for Kane and Taves?
No.
Well, no, because they're making the most amount of money by the CPA.
And even if you gave them more money, you're like, yeah, they probably deserve that too.
Well, yeah, because
it's not Joe Sakic offer sheet, New York Ranger offer sheet money, but it's pretty good.
What's that?
That's the highest paid contract ever for a 1-season player.
What was it?
$15 million.
Didn't the Avalanche have to match that?
Yeah, and they did.
Why was he an RFA?
He's a restricted free agent. They just didn't get a contract done. So
That's what happens when you turn 31.
the Rangers. I read Neil Smith's book.
Really?
Yeah, back in the day.
And basically the Checketts brothers bought the Rangers, and they were these total like bros. They're like those two brothers who tried to steal Facebook from Zuckerberg.
The Winklevoss?
Yeah, they're like essentially they were the Winklevosses of the early '90s, and they had they were like, yeah, let's stick it to Colorado and sign Sakic to an offer sheet, and like Neil Smith's whole vibe on it was like, that's a fine idea for you guys, but I have to live in this league, and I have to live with these GMs. Like Pierre Lacroix is my friend, and there's kind of an remember there used to be that unwritten rule, but we don't do offer sheets.
Yeah,
and then
they were like,
then
no.
Bobby Clark said, "Screw that."
Yeah, well, then the Checketts brothers were like, no, f you, we pay you, you do it. So they did it, and then the next year, Korea, his contract comes up, and they go, let's stick it to Michael Eisner, sign Paul Korea to an offer sheet.
Yeah.
And Neil Smith's like, Michael Eisner is barely aware that he owns the Mighty Ducks.
I have a hockey team.
Oh, yeah, we're in the black on that. That's a good investment.
Is that a ride at?
And he refused, and he actually thinks that's what led to him being fired.
Wow.
But like that's during that time. Those are the two brothers that were bringing in when they were bringing in guys like Theo Fleury and Lindros.
Right.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah,
now.
they're just big names all over the place, right? They were just throwing money at big names.
Well, that was a fun
and the
era
team
of
deflated.
hockey.
Like, let's sign everybody. Let's sign Gretzky. Like, let's do this. Let's do that. Yeah,
chemistry? Who cares?
Yeah,
I'll
there's
figure it
a
out.
couple of D-bags with too much money. Let's get Bure.
Whatever happened to them?
I don't know. They don't own the team anymore now.
Wow.
MSG Corporation owns the team.
Yeah, they own everything in New York City.
They sure
They
do.
sunk their money into MySpace.
I don't know if you've been keeping tabs on.
Did they actually?
No, I don't know.
I don't know if you've been keeping tabs on Willie D, but he's kind of coaching, and he's kind of talking to the media.
He's saying a lot of things.
He's
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
He's doing the Tortorella dance.
He's doing the last week of grade 12. What are they gonna do? Fucking suspend me?
I'm just drilling holes.
He's
Fuck it. Last 2 weeks.
There's 11 Canuck games left in the regular season, and I think it's the worst. You know,
Is he driving by all the liquor stores looking for free cardboard boxes? Box up his stuff.
But he is not giving a shit.
He's stealing staplers.
He's got a one. He's stealing staplers.
What's in the bag, Willie? Nothing.
He's got a one-way ticket booked to Medicine Hat.
For the Mumpville?
Air Canada Jazz. Or I guess him and the missus are going to drive that U-Haul because they got all those staples in the back.
The earth is flat.
He'll be there in no time. It's flat right to Medicine Hat.
Oh, man. The earth is flat.
He's throwing...
Can we call it that? It's flat to Medicine
The earth
Hat.
is flat. Ben Bishop is a backup goalie for the LA Kings. Daryl Sutter and Jerome McGinley are reunited. Something's got to give. I don't know.
Calgary Flames are going to play the Edmonton Oilers, and the Oilers are going to get the shit kicked out of them because they can't play defense.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
But
I think the Oilers win that series.
You think?
I do.
They're a mess.
They have this guy on the team called Connor McDavid.
Yeah, but he doesn't
And
play
you
defense.
keep saying they're a mess. They've won their last 3 games, and they got a shutout on Saturday night.
Again, I mean, remember when the podcast played
Oh,
the
who'd
Canucks?
they beat?
The Utica Comets.
The Utica Comets.
Cramarosa.
They shut down Labatt. It was really impressive. They really shut him down.
But he...
but they have won 3 straight. I'm just saying. And they're like 14 games over 500. So I'm going to agree to disagree that they're a mess. I think they're just fine.
Oh, I mean, they're a mess in their defensive end.
Again,
Shit happens. It's like the playoffs.
they're like middle of the pack and like in goals against. Like they're decent. But yeah, you're right. They can score their way out of trouble, which they do often.
But they haven't been to the playoffs since 1989, so this will be really exciting.
Ryan Smith's going to be so sad.
He's in a dark room right
we
now.
Shouldn't. Yeah, we shouldn't make fun. I tweeted it. We didn't say it, but like
He won't come out of retirement to lead this team.
He's chasing Allen Cup rings.
Yeah, I think that's what he's playing for.
Yeah, it is.
Did you see that horrible hit on him?
I did.
That's sad.
Now I have one question and one question only.
Uh-oh.
Why are you playing senior men's hockey?
Because he loves the game.
Jesus Christ.
Could he not still play in the league?
I thought he would play in like Dave's league or something.
Well, senior AAA hockey is excellent hockey. It is very good. I would say it's on par with the Coast League.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
okay.
We don't really have it in BC. I think that there are some teams in the east part of BC,
Right.
like the Trail area.
Oh,
but in
okay.
Vancouver, it doesn't exist. We don't have a senior AAA men's team.
Right,
it's a small town thing, but the small towns that have it support it. Like they get 2,000 people
Yeah.
a game. Like I think it's
Does
a suburb of
Letterkenny
Edmonton.
have one?
They would. Well, they do. In season 2, the boys
They play
go-
senior men's. That's right.
and that's what it is.
Spoiler alert.
But yeah, it doesn't really exist out here.
But yeah, I never understood why he would play that.
It purely for the love of the game.
But it's
and the Allen Cup is a very old and prestigious trophy, but
That's
it's
right.
purely insider hockey. Like people within the game know it, but it doesn't get televised. But yeah, like when Theo was playing for the Horse Lake Thunder, like that's Allen Cup.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
The youngest Gretzky, Brent Gretzky, won it for the Brantford team
Oh,
recently.
Okay.
It was like a 40-year-old.
Is that where he's from?
Yeah,
Brantford?
Brantford, Ontario. They're all from Brantford.
Back in high school, back at Brampton High.
Yeah.
No, Brantford and Brampton are different.
Yeah, Brantford.
Oh,
Brantford.
I don't know.
They're near each other in southern Ontario.
I bet Brent got a lot of sex because he was Wayne Gretzky's little bro.
What's that last?
He probably went around
I
telling
can,
people he's Wayne. I'm Wayne.
He got the Charlie Murphy
I'll take
treatment.
I'll take you. We go visit my brother in Edmonton. We'll stay in one of them theme rooms at the at West Ed Mall. We could stay in the igloo room.
We'll drive there overnight. It's easy to get there. It's flat.
Flat. Yeah. Nothing in the way. Big sky country.
But Willie's playing like he's coaching and he's speaking like he knows that he's got that U-Haul packed up ready to go.
Maybe he could throw a wig on
And
Ladybug
then
style.
alternate ending, Willie Desjardins is now back to coach 2017-2018.
What?
Yeah,
the USA women's hockey team is going to boycott the World Championships, which are happening
in USA, in the States.
So maybe Ryan Smith, if he wants to play some more hockey, could Ladybug style, Jonathan Brandis soccer movie reference. He could throw a wig on.
Well, his hair's long enough.
Yeah, just stop crying a little bit. And play
Girls
for.
don't cry.
Hey, it's a non-contact league, so he doesn't worry about getting set up in the trolley tracks.
Yeah, by some jabroni looking to make a name for himself.
Some junior C asshole from like Etobicoke.
What's your take on this, Geeta, the resident girl of the show?
They are boycotting for equal pay.
Well, what happens is USA Hockey will contract their players out 6 months prior to the Olympics, where they pay them $1,000 a month.
Okay, that's not a lot of money. That is not a living wage.
And a little bit, there's a little bit of their money you can pick up along the way.
It affords them to be able to just work part-time and then train the rest of the time. Now, they only do it in Olympic years. They don't do it in World Championship years.
So this team...
But Canada does. So the
okay.
Canadian women's team gets this money all the time.
Right, okay.
Because we fund it.
Yeah. But what I find is like these gals are boycotting a tournament. They're, from what I can gather, from what I'm reading, that they're playing for free to be in.
Do they not play their World Championships every year?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
It's the same deal, but they're not going to play this one because they're holding out to get more funding. They want the year-round funding.
I think they should.
I think they should too. I don't have a problem with this. And the fact that they get it drives big TV ratings in Canada. It grows the game in the States. Like USA Hockey makes
so much money that the Americans invest into sports. How do they not have enough for this? Their women's team is one of the top teams in the world.
Well, that's the other thing. We always hear...
if not the top team, except for the Olympics where they always lose.
But
that's why. They're second best in the world.
And we always hear when Canada goes to a Summer Olympics, they get a fraction of medals of what the Americans get.
Right.
And the conversation always, why isn't the Canadian Olympic Committee or whatever it is, why isn't there more funding for these athletes to train, to not have to work at Home Depot or something? And so now then they always talk about the Americans being the example of they're always funding their athletes.
But they don't fund women's hockey.
See, that's the thing. If they've got funding from Ryan Lochte, they should have funding for the women's hockey team.
Exactly. It's a pretty simple argument right there. And I just, you know what? I'm all for it. And it's not their demands or what they want is not outrageous at all.
No, it's quite reasonable.
So I hope
And again, this is a team that is consistently on top.
But if you want to send your B squad to a tournament that you're hosting over, literally a few grand.
But I don't really like that USA Hockey is like, we're gonna field a competitive team regardless. They're kind of writing them off as the enemies. These are legitimate. These are legitimate beefs.
These are your heroes. These are the girls that all the players that are paying you massive amounts of registration money. All these girls who are involved in it's bad for your program.
Yeah.
you're going to send a B squad team to a tournament that you're hosting, and then people are going to drop out and not play hockey anymore. Just spend the money. Don't be stupid. You're building a fucking wall.
Yeah. Well, they're cupping another wall.
Yeah. So I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But best of luck to Team Canada. It looks like they're going to have an easy ride to the championship this year because they're going to be playing the B squad.
Good for them.
Homeless NHL team update.
Did you? I wrote this down. I forgot to mention this. The Islanders are finally having a contest where you can win tickets to sit in the Honda, like the SUV that's behind the glass.
But it was a contest to house the team.
Well, yeah,
like drive-in hockey.
Think of the sex that's going on in that Honda CRV.
Oh man, it's gonna be like the Titanic, where you just see the hand on the windshield.
Well, you mean you're watching the
If you time it right and the goal horn goes off as you finish, that's pretty amazing.
That's what you hope for. And the Coyotes, they are reducing their capacity in the house for next year.
Are they doing the BC Place thing? Yeah.
They're gonna tent it. They're gonna tent the upper bowl.
They're gonna tent the first 3 rows, so it looks like a WHL game. Yeah, I believe that. I had one question from Twitter that I wanted to ask before you wrap it up, and it's from our Scottish listener Craig Gillies, who intoxicatedly.
Are you drunk tweeting?
Intoxicated. Bought a Pucks on Net puck from us.
Who did?
For like $300.
Our Scottish listener, Craig Gillies.
Pucks on Net pucks are expensive.
No, they're expensive to ship. They're very affordable to produce, but I mean,
the world is flat, so if I just shoot it,
just roll it. Put it on its side and roll it.
Flat to Medicine Hat, baby. But he asks, are the Sedins done? How many times did they fail to control the puck or have their passes fall short last night?
Maybe if Willie had played him with Burrows all season, who apparently had more juice left in the tank than I thought he did.
Yeah. It's like everybody's getting the short end of the stick when it comes to line line pairings.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Burrows is like the only guy they didn't try with the Sedins for a significant length of time this year.
No, they gave him his swan song out. Here you go, pal. One last. I don't know. What does he say? It's a shame.
They just wanted him to go.
Like, I don't know. It's kind of unfortunate to watch him play.
Willie doesn't know what he's doing here.
Well, it'll be another season next year of the Sedins, and they'll be around 50 points.
But it's kind of tough to watch them. It's like watching them in 2001 when it's slow moving obstruction.
Is it unfair
penalties.
to keep them?
No, they want to be here.
They want to finish here.
It's good, and it's good for Bo. It's good for Marcus Granlund and Barchi.
Hey, Bo got his letter for one single game.
Is he not?
That's enough.
Yeah, that's a start.
Anyway, we'll wrap this up. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at PucksOnNetCA or PucksNetCa. And subscribe on iTunes and rate and review us on iTunes. You've a lot of good listeners have come in and gave us some 5-star reviews, which really helps us out.
And for those that don't like us, they hate us because they ain't us.
That's right, baby. Make sure you like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram. If you want to buy Pucks on It Puck, if you locally live in Vancouver, Metro Vancouver, $10 a pop.
And you get to meet Ryan.
Me, yeah. Or maybe P-Mac. But probably just me.
You'll meet P-Mac, but he doesn't really want to meet you.
He'll be in the back seat of Mom's Mitsubishi Lancer, just like, I don't want to be here.
He's signing glossies. He'll slip him through. Like, he'll open up the window just big enough that he can just slide the glossy side photo out of the window.
Glasses on, tint on.
There you go. What's your name? Bethany? Okay, I got a Becky. Here you go, Becky.
So if you want to buy a puck, email us, pucksonnet@shaw.ca. And if you really want to support the show and you want to keep listening to this podcast, we're going into 5 minutes for paying on Patreon. And if you want to listen to that bonus content and our bonus episode coming this week, head on over to patreon.com/pucksonnet. We got pucksonnet, not CA, those jerks. So if you pledge $5, you get all our bonus content. And head on and take a look and see what else you can get. Some extra content, some merch, a puck, shirts, all that jazz. 3 of the 10 digits of Geeta's phone number are up now for $25 a month subscribers. You give me $25, I'll give you one more. 3 of 10, they're not going to figure it out.
604?
Shut up. It's a bait and switch.
You got a 604? That's gold, baby.
All right, now we'll wrap this.
I'd pay top dollar to get a 604.
And now for our Patreon backers, stand by for 5 minutes for paying.